In this video, it's time to see if I can undo the damage I caused to my 2CV. But first, tea. So it turns out I'm not the first person to have this issue. So there's quite a lot of information out there about how to recover the situation. What I'm hoping to do today is take this new nut, this problematic new nut, and I'm going to cut a slot in it and maybe cut into the other side as well, so I can open it out, get it over the damaged section, clamp it with mole grips, and then spin it off, and hopefully we can reinstate the thread on the end of there. I'm grateful to a number of people commenting on Facebook when I reported that I'd utterly ruined this, saying, yeah, this is how you get out of the situation. So thank you very much if you were one of those. Especially Ken Hanna of SLC Chassis, the best chassis you can get for a 2CV really. He often gives me the benefit of his considerable advice despite the fact I'm rubbish, so I'm always grateful for that, Ken. Thank you very much. I recall last time I'd actually refitted the drums but forgotten to put these little clips back in place, which are rather essential. I also haven't centered the drum. That is something you should do if you're doing this properly. I don't have any means of doing that. Or I suppose I could try and get a tape measure and just eyeball it, but ideally you need a special tool that goes on here and just runs round to ensure these are adjusted the same, and they're adjusted via these bolts down here. I'm just going to trust to luck a bit, I think, and we'll see how it goes. And if my brakes go honk 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 afterwards, then it's my own fault. I have cut through the nut, so hopefully I can open that up a bit. Let's just see if I can get a screwdriver in there to... Oh, I may have overly killed this screwdriver. It has had a particularly tough life. See if we can open it up a bit to get it over that threaded section, which is what we need to achieve. So I'm going to go and see if I can do that now, and we'll get it on, and hopefully we can then unscrew it. Oh, this is a tricky old job. I think I need it to open up more than that. I'm going to struggle to get it in, because obviously I don't want to damage any of the other threads. I have actually ordered a thread file. Thread file is something else, oh dear, that could potentially rescue this situation. But this was a tip that several people suggested. Just need to see if I can actually achieve it. I may have to cut a bigger slot in the bottom of this to actually give it a hinge point, so I think I'm going to go and do that now. And of course the worst thing about all this is how unnecessary it is. This is just because I made a mess of it last time. I mean, the golden rule is never force a thread. If it doesn't want to go, there's probably a reason for that. No, it's still not quite there. I've never done this before, so I've no idea if I'm going about this the right way or not, really. Oh, there we go. I've started splitting the nut in half. That wasn't quite the intent, but we'll try and get it as on as we can. Ah, there we go. That's actually split in half now. That's less than ideal. It really doesn't feel like the right thread pitch, you know. No wonder I'm blooming struggling. Oh, there. Might be happy. Can we get the other half to meet up with it? Really big mole grips for this, and I don't have any. No, that's not quite as we want it. That's where we want to be, I think. Oh. Let me see if I've got some bigger grips. I can't find more grips, so I'm going to have to try these. Let's see if I can get this half back on. There we go. Oh, here we go. That looks promising. Not entirely sure that has done the job. Let's find the good nut, the gold nut. These gold ones actually seem reasonably happy to go on here. Yeah, that seems okay, doesn't it? Phew. I think we may have managed to salvage this situation. Well, there we go. We've got it buttoned up again. What a game that was. Oh, I'm just trying to calm down after some carnage involving that grease gun over there, which I would say lost the fight, but I absolutely hate grease guns. I don't know why the spring retainer just kept on failing. It was just throwing grease everywhere as I was trying to get the top on it, so it died. So if you think I don't lose my rag and don't swear occasionally, then baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. But I don't think I ever want that sort of behaviour to be caught on camera. It was terrifyingly close to damaging one of my cars. Such was my rage. But I do get rage, and it's usually grease guns that are on the receiving end of it. They are utter beeps. Right, I'm going to try and calm down. Somewhere I've got another grease gun, I hope. I just bought a grease cartridge this morning for that one because I can't find my own, and that was an extra I had. And yeah, I've lost the fight with that one. I don't know where my grease gun is. It's somewhere in here, and it would be really useful because it is actually quite a good grease gun and it has grease in it. Yeah, I'm going to carry on buttoning up the other side of the 2CV and try and calm down a bit. I'm an idiot. I've been held up on this side because this lower eccentric here isn't wanting to move. It's absolutely stuck on this little shaft here. Suggests I didn't use quite enough copper grease last time. Very irritating. Don't pull too hard because I don't want to bend the shoe. Oh, I've got both lights on. Oh, that's better. Now I'm not blinding myself. Yeah, problematic. I've decided I really can't be doing with any more mucking about, so we're going to give fire a try. Doesn't seem entirely inclined, does it? Oh dear, I think I'm getting too close. Really handy to have a self-igniting torch. I've just bought that. Come on. I have actually got, burning a lot of oil off, a fire extinguisher just behind me there. Yes, I see movement. Definitely moved a bit. jeepers. Oh, that's absolutely stuck on there. This is getting quite frustrating, as is my lack of suitable lighting. Yeah, what it is this is what sits inside the shoe. I think they're slightly eccentric, so they allow you to adjust the shoe position, but it's absolutely seized on there. Oh yes, oh yes. Hey! Oh, good grief. That was a pain. I'll definitely do some cleaning up down here. Lovely rust dust. And we must lubricate these up. I might even try and run a bit of sandpaper, I think, over them. Oh. And we still got to free up an adjuster as well, which I might try with heat. I have got one to replace it, very kindly sent to me by Retro Spec Parts. Does some good stuff for French cars. But I did read somewhere it's sometimes possible to free them off with heat. So seeing as I've got heat, and I don't care about this wheel cylinder because that's going, I might try that. No, I remember, it's pointless. This is substantially rounded off, so I'm going to have to cut that off, which is going to be fun. I don't like using angle grinders, but I don't have a lot of choice here. Of course, this is where I remember I haven't got power here. There is a fuse board, but it just goes next door. I don't actually have any source of power here, so that rather rules out the angle grinder. Right, I'm now on to the next absolute pain in the backside, which is this union. I can't get it to release its grip on the pipe. If I try undoing it while it's gripping the pipe, it's just going to twist until the pipe fractures. It doesn't look like it's going to release its hold. I've tried penetrating oil, I've wire brushed it, and then applied more penetrating oil, and then yet more penetrating oil. Can't get it to spin. This is a problem. Now, it isn't all that held in there, to be honest, but it is held in there enough, because this is the wheel cylinder where the other half of it, where my finger is, has just come off completely. So that rather throws out the autofocus. So at the moment, I'm really not sure what I'm going to do about this. This I had started cutting off with a hacksaw, but I really need this out of the way to give me a bit more working space. So that was my thinking, was to just get this out of the way so I can carry on, but that doesn't want to undo. That, my friends, is a serious problem, and I don't know how to resolve it. So I think I'm just going to go back to hacksawing. Ah, good fun. I could do one with a sort of a twisty end, so you can saw at an angle, really. But nonetheless, this is what it is. This is going to take a long time, so be glad I'm not going to make you watch all the way with me. Oh, after much hacking through it, I encouraged it to snap off. Are you going to focus? There we go, it's coming. So it's now stuck in there, but it is no longer attached to the vehicle. So if I get a punch and hammer, hopefully we can knock it through now. Oh, there goes the washer. Might not be quite as easy as I'd hoped. There we go. Oh, and the adjuster is out. So yeah, collateral damage. I've broken a hacksaw blade, destroyed my self-esteem quite drastically. I think I still have not managed to bring... Oh, that's a bit zoomed in, isn't it? Let's take you away. yeah, I've still managed not to bring the other adjuster with me. I've decided on the wheel cylinder I'm going to try and unscrew the wheel cylinder from the brake pipe instead. That should work, and we'll save destroying the brake pipe, because the brake pipe, as I know, having replaced it only last year at Peak 2CV, bit of a pig to do, because you have to go right through the rear axle arm. It's not something you want to do lightly. But I think I'm going to call a halt to that. Look, it's absolute carnage. It has not gone well. It has not been a good session of tinkering, I don't think. And yeah, one of those days. It really does leave you wondering exactly why you bother. You know, I was looking at whether it would make more sense to pack Ellie off to somewhere like Peak 2CV and let them have their fun with the brakes. So John will be quite glad I didn't do that. I have been pestering him for information, but he's got off very lightly, I should say. So next time I need to bring the adjuster. I need to reassemble the brakes this side, and yeah, I think motivation has definitely run out for the day. Now I might just chuck a bit of ATF, automatic transmission fluid, into the cylinders on the Yugo, because the oil I've put in there isn't going to do a fat lot, and if we actually want to get this thing turning, it's going to take a bit more than that. So I think I'll do that before I go, and not sure I'll bother filming it because it'll just be me squirting stuff in. I'm not going to make an attempt on turning it today, but otherwise I think I'm going to wind up this session of tinkering. We'll be back to do yet more work on the 2CV's brakes, and then once I get it running and moving again, I can move it to better light, start going through the electrics, and I think we're then pretty much there for the MOT work. So I'm going to wind that one up. Don't forget you can go to the HubNut store and buy goodies. I'll say that I think we're sold out of these. We might still have the t-shirts in some sizes, but I'm looking to restock on those. Triangle of Doom merchandise. We need to get that in. Fine. Poltergeist is great. Wheel trim just fell off something. I'm off home. Farewell.